what I'm saying is, if Jonathan was still on, the man from Canada, how I explained to him and his wife to get the kids back, at times he does operate in legalese. At times he does operate in the two-dimensional world because it's beneficial. Now, I know your belief is more three-dimensional. You only want to exist in the flesh and blood and the living, breathing man. I teach people, watch this. Right now, I'm a U.S. citizen. Guess what? Now I'm not. Now I am. Now I'm not. I'm exercising my right at certain times to accept the benefit to be a U.S. citizen. If somebody tries to hold me to that belief that I'm a U.S. citizen and it's going to cause me harm, watch how fast I'm going to say, I'm not a U.S. citizen. And now you can't hold me because I just threw the trump card at you because a man has spoken. I'm in the image of God. God has spoken. You can't hold me to it. Watch this. Are you a state employee? Yeah. Are you a public servant? Are you under me? Yeah. Well, not as a U.S. citizen. You're above me, right? Yeah. Well, guess what? Now I'm not a U.S. citizen. Now I just flipped the table on you, public servant. I'm the public. Now I'm your boss again. I just converted myself.
You can't be both, Carl. You can't be a citizen of the United States. You can't be a citizen. Citizens, not people.
This is what I'm saying, is people who hear me understand where I'm coming from, that it's convenient sometimes to be a debtor. Sometimes I just don't have the money. Sometimes I will obligate myself to somebody who will provide me a benefit or a service, and now I am obligated to perform a certain service or duty or a job to fulfill my portion of the obligation to secure that debt. I don't mind. It's give and take. I can't always be the creditor. Sometimes I'm going to have to ask for help. And this is going to be a benefit, but I'm going to have to surrender some of my rights and obligate myself to perform because that's what I was asked to do.
I don't know where it says that. I'm not, if you're one of the people, you have a right to do anything you wish as long as you don't harm someone or damage their property.
Well, like I say to people, a citizen means a member of a family. Now, I could choose to be an American citizen, which means I'm sort of some Italian family, somebody named Americus, whatever. I don't choose to be that. Do I want to be a U.S. citizen? I could be a member of the family. My daddy's Barack Obama. All right. But at times I just want to be called Lentz. I just want to be the member of the Lentz family. I'm a citizen. I'm a Lentz citizen. And that's all citizen means.
Maybe in Canada it means that, but not in America. In America, if you're a citizen, you're a subject of the United States Corporation, of the de facto. You're not one of the people.
Canadians who are listening are just booing you right now, Tom, because they are Americans as well. From the North Pole to South Pole.
Does the Bill of Rights apply to Canadians also?
No, Tom. From the North Pole to the South Pole is the Americas. You've got Central America, North America, and South America. The Americas go from North Pole to South Pole. Where USA is.
Right, Carl. Only problem is the Bill of Rights does not apply to the Canadians.
Okay. What I'm saying is it pertains to those upon U.S. soil.
No, not U.S. soil, American soil.
Okay.
U.S. is the corporation.
You've heard of South America, right?
Correct.
Okay, you've heard of Central
America. The Bill of
America.
Rights doesn't apply to South America either.
Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say is the Bill of Rights was just basically established that there was going to be a federal government and a state government, and that the states and the feds agreed to not trespass on certain sovereign rights of either the feds or what they perceive to be sovereign rights of the states. It's just a contract between them. And all a man like me does is say, hey, feds, are you trying to step on my rights? Are you trying to trespass upon my property, upon my rights? No. You signed a contract that said you won't do that. So you need to back off because I'm going to force that contract on you right now. Back off.
The contract with the people is the oath that the so-called public servants took. The sheriffs are the ones to be considered. No, none of the others have any jurisdiction. Like I said, the cops don't have any right to pack. They don't have the rights under the Second Amendment.
Honestly,
they're packing guns and they don't have a right.
Only a man has a right. The feds, the state, and the sheriffs have duties, obligations, and privileges and responsibilities. A man has rights. Only a man and a woman has rights.
The sheriff. It's different with the sheriffs. The sheriffs, unless they accept their pay from a corporation, then they descend to a mere citizen.
But I'm saying
that's the problem.
The sheriff a sheriff, when he takes an oath to become a sheriff, he is still bound by certain rules that he can and cannot do certain things. He can't just run hog wild over the people. He's still answerable.
He basically is given the authority and immunity by the people when he takes that oath, and that doesn't apply to cops. That only applies to the sheriffs.
You better believe if the sheriff just came into my house right now and hit me in the head for no reason, he's liable for damage.
Sure,
he can't just
because he harms you. He can't harm you.
That's right. He's still bound, and he's still not immune if he causes me harm. He better have a good reason why he did it. Just like any other man, he's still going to be held liable.
Correct.
So,
but if the cop came in, he would do the same thing. So anyone that came and harmed you would be subject. However, the sheriff has a right to pack. The cops don't have a right to pack.
Well,
they don't have the right. They're citizens. They're subjects of the United States Corporation. Not a single member of the United States Corporation are subject or citizens thereof or registered voters in the United States of America.
How did that sheriff obtain that title of sheriff?
Because he was voted in by the citizens, and then he took an oath to the people.
So he was granted that title by the power of the people vested in him, right?
The power of the people based on his oath, not based on being voted in. Remember, they're voted in by citizens of the United States. They're voted in by the de facto.
Okay, so I didn't use the word power. I didn't use the word vote. I said, so the sheriff was granted the ability to be a sheriff by the will of the people, right?
Right. He was
He was granted that title.
No, absolutely not. No. He was put in the position. He was elected by the citizens to take that position, but he answers to the people, and the power comes from the people by his oath. By virtue of the oath that he took to uphold the Constitution, which the Constitution there again does not apply to the citizens. It only applies to the people.
Let's make it simpler. Let's say we lived on Gilligan's Island and there were 7 castaways, and we're gonna put somebody in the role of the sheriff. Okay? So he was given, say the skipper is going to be called the sheriff. Okay? So the people in Gilligan's Island gave the title, or granted the skipper the title of sheriff, right?
Correct.
There you go.
The people did. That's a little different. It doesn't apply because the people don't vote. The people don't vote in America.
We're doing it very simple. I don't care about U.S. I don't care about America. I'm talking about a very simple concept, like Gilligan's Island. There's only 7 people left here on planet Earth.
And that is the way it's supposed to be here, Karl, but it isn't that way. So you have to, look at it the way it really is.
What I'm saying is, if we live on a little island, and there's only 7 of us left on the planet, and we're going to vote who's going to be the sheriff, the people who voting are going to grant the power of the sheriff to the skipper, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay. When you're granted a title, you have no rights. You have to accept the duties and obligations that it took to hold that office. You don't have rights. You have duties, privileges, and obligations that you bound to by taking that oath. You have no rights. The people who put you and gave you that title, they have the power to revoke that grant. If they granted it to you, they can revoke the grant.
Precisely.
That's what I'm trying to get.
I agree. We agree on that point. The problem is, here in America, it isn't like that.
Anybody who's cloaked, all I'm trying to say is anybody who's cloaked in an official capacity to act in behalf of the people, all those titles are granted by the people, and all those titles can be revoked by the people, and all the people can bound those oath keepers to a certain set of standards and rules. They have no rights. They have duties and obligations and privileges. That's how I try to explain to people the difference between man and rights. And once you cloak yourself under the office of whatever, you have duties, obligations, responsibilities and privileges in which you must comply, or the people are going to rip that title from you because they granted you that ability to have that power over them.